are on the set of Percy Jackson and the Olympians, The Sea of Monsters.
Fire up the machine.
We got so many new characters, a new set, Cyclops, Annabeth's back. Percy is getting stronger in his powers.
The Half-Bloods at Camp Half-Blood mostly learn to master their own specific power, whether it's water or fighting skills such as Clarice.
Oh, how nice of you to show up just to watch me win.
I did a lot of physical training to put on some muscle and look like a really intimidating force against Percy and Annabeth and someone that they would be scared of.
Just to be prepared to do whatever they threw at me, pretty much.
Clarice, specifically, is someone who is the daughter of the god of war. She is sort of born to fight.
I got this.
And Levin Rambin had to really prove that she could do that.
There's a lot of climbing and jumping and running and under this, under that.
That's not good.
All our actors had to go through tremendous physical training to sort of do fight scenes, stunts, wire work, jumping around, parkouring, basically, 50% of the time.
Come on, Percy! I got 50 drachma on you!
Brandon T. Jackson is someone with seemingly inexhaustible amounts of energy, and that is both in performance as well as fighting.
Ever watch that? Boom. It's like where you can train, do all your karate. Oh, there it goes. It spins around, so you don't want to hit it too hard, but you can do all your cool karate fighting stuff. Bam. Wow. So it's kind of fun to be able to do it on screen and have fun with beating up people.
He loves to kick butt, and he was always eager and always asking me, what can I do? How about I use my hoofs? Annabeth can kick it. Case in point is the ship, the yacht, where there's a fight. She's confronted with a bunch of Half-Bloods, and that's something we choreographed, and Alexandra did a great job slipping into the fighting mode with the help of the other Half-Bloods.
One of the cool things about doing this movie is that I get to bring out a side of myself where I get to be very tough.
She's someone who, like the character of Annabeth, is very analytical. She did a great job looking at a fight almost like a series of chess moves.
It's a lot of hand-to-hand combat. I take down 2 guys, in 30 seconds. You don't even realize that part of yourself until you get to do these stunts.
There's a lot of fun stuff and a lot of crazy action.
Logan, as Percy, uses his power to control water in the biggest way, trying to escape from Luke's yacht.
Not this again.
It's this cool, epic sequence.
Go!
I escape in a very grand way.
Logan had to jump off the ship and had to balance himself on sort of a green piece of equipment that would later become the wave.
There's a lot of fun stuff. I mean, the yacht was really cool. It was definitely a highlight of filming the movie.
Percy, Annabeth, Clarice, Grover, and Luke's Half-Bloods, really revealing some of the battle skills of these Half-Bloods that we've established. They got pretty bruised doing it themselves, but I think it looks great in the end.
It is so great to be back on the set of Percy Jackson. It's a really, really cool vibe.
We all became really tight on the first one. They're good friends of mine. It's fun to get the call that we're going to be out here doing another one. I just have a great time working with them and hanging out.
Turns out you're not the only Half-Blood who's hard to kill.
Luke.
It's fantastic to be back with the old crew. I miss working with them. I miss fighting them.
I hang out with Douglas, joke around with Brandon and Logan, and then, they call action, and we're like, oh, right, it's okay, we're doing a movie, okay. The minute I got here, I felt immediately like they really wanted to welcome me in.
See, the chemistry on screen is because we make sure we're like a family off screen. Everyone's trying to work together to make a really good movie.
It was really, really fun. We hung out a lot. We went to so many dinners together. Are you gonna eat that? Hey, go ahead. We hung out in each other's hotel rooms and different activities with one another.
Logan is very unaware of how capable he is. He's also very self-deprecating and unself-conscious and so natural. And I was like, how am I gonna be mean to this kid? Like, he's so nice. But that actually made it easier for me to feel comfortable with getting in his face and challenging him and being really mean to him. Because the closer we are as friends, the more I feel comfortable to push him.
We'll escape through the gut.
Well, just my work if it doesn't kill us first.
You steer, I'll shoot.
We just have a lot of fun working together.
Me and Logan, we seem to have pretty identical taste in music, so we can talk about music quite endlessly. And he's a good guitar player, and I like to play guitar.
I called Lil Wayne up, like, yo, man, we said your name in this. I'm serious, that's my dude.
Brandon? Brandon is definitely a performer, and he's very funny.
You know, sometimes off camera we play around with each other, like somebody be making faces and just little gags like that. It's pretty funny.
At the end of a really long day when things are stressful and you're tired, it's always good to laugh, and being around the boys is fantastic. It's sort of like going back to summer camp.
Come on, Percy! I got 50 truck on you!
Do you bet on this?
What, is that wrong? That's how we do it at Camp Half-Blooded. Love you guys.
Bad bull.
If you look at Greek mythology, Cyclops are usually the monster. Our guy had to be the complete opposite. He's a warm-hearted, sweet guy who is just being ostracized because of what he looks like. So how do you make an audience essentially fall in love with something that looks like and is perceived as a monster?
I was hoping maybe we could talk. You know, Cyclops is Cyclops.
The majority of the preparation was figuring out the look of this character because he wasn't a monster that was only going to be in one scene growling at the kids.
Tyson, the character, is really a metaphor and an illustration of the idea of don't judge a book by its cover. He's seen as being a monster, but when you start talking to him, you encounter a creature that is the most gentle, kind, almost one of childlike innocence.
That was
I know.
awesome. Can we go again?
And we looked long and hard for the right Tyson. You know, we had the added challenge of him having to be much taller than everybody else. We knew that Tyson had to be disheveled, had to have kind of a hobo quality to him, as well as being cute, likable, with just a bit of the right fashion sense. The dreadlocks came about out of the thought of a homeless kid wandering the woods.
Sorry.
And it really also created a great framing device for the eye. Once we had Douglas, the task became, how do we make him into Tyson? We had played around with prosthetics.
When I have my sunglasses on, I actually have a practical forehead prosthetic on my forehead to raise the brow so that it's believable that I would have only one eye socket instead of two, because your forehead would look way different if you only had one eye, because the eye sockets support the certain part of your forehead.
Missed?
It makes the mystical look normal.
What? Oh.
We scanned his face digitally from all sides. We had a 3D head of Douglas, and that allowed us to sculpt the forehead, the cheekbones, flatten some of the bridge of the nose to make the eye, you know, sit in his face perfectly. Tyson is introduced to Percy by Mr. D.
Hi. Hi, brother.
This particular shot was the first time the audience were going to lay eyes on Tyson. We made sure that we made him mysterious enough without undercutting the comedy of first seeing him.
Hi, brother.
Once this character starts to blink, casts his glance down when he's sad, all those little nuances will really make him come to life and make him likable.
Somebody's got a new brother.
And then there's the whole motion, which, people move their eyes in a very specific way when they blink and when they switch their focus from one place to another.
It's very challenging to create eyes digitally and make it look very natural.
Aye. Sorry.
The eyes are the first thing that an audience looks at.
We drove the eye quite a bit from Douglas's eye. I mean, it is actually his eye that we started with, that we took very close-up photographs of to get the same color and textures.
A performance of an actor on the movie screen, to a great percentage, is conveyed through his eyes. So it was important to us, since that was the singular focus of Tyson, that we create a photoreal, living, emoting eye that you don't even think about after 2 shots of being digital.
When my mist wears off, it causes me to really soul search and go into this sad story about what it's like to really be a lonely monster.
People look at me and they see a monster. Sometimes I think maybe they're right.
There's a sort of general feeling of, oh, he's so cute. That I take as an indication that we have mastered the challenge of making Tyson a memorable and likable character.
Hi, brother.
Looky, look, just another one of you dumpster diving street kids. I seen one of you, I seen them all.
I'm just cooking some beans. Hungry?
Oh, what the? My God, you some kind of freak or something? Stay right there. Let me back up down here. Don't move. I said don't move. Hands above your eye, kid. Stay where you're at. I'm out of here.
Guess he wasn't hungry.
Hey guys, go get some wood. Hey, can you get it? We're setting up the tent. All right, sure. Yeah, I call the spot. Someone help me out? I'm getting hungry. Who's gonna start the fire? It's getting dark soon. So cool. Come on now. Whoa.
After dragging his men from the land of the Lotus Eaters, they sailed through a stormy night and end up on a rough and rocky island. Hungry and sea-worn, the men came upon a cave full of crates of milk and plenty of food. Little did they know whose meal they were feasting on. They chugged and chowed and laid down asleep. But then a noise like they've never heard before echoed from deep inside the cave.
Come on, guys, I'm finished.
His men wouldn't dare go deeper, but Odysseus knew they could be trapped, so he forged into the darkness. It was dark and damp as Odysseus walked deeper into the cave, and then he stopped. It came over him like a gust of wind, the nastiest, stinkiest breath ever breathed. He looked in every direction, the fire of his lamp running low. And then he looked up, and hovering over him was the Cyclops!
Oh, come on. I saw that one coming a mile away. Hi, guys.
Let's get out of here! Guys, wait up!
You sure do look hungry, honey.
I haven't grubbed like this since, well, never.
It's on the house.
Thanks. Camp Half-Blood? Awesome. Cool.
Well, this is going to be interesting.